is amazing. Christ freed me from sin by raising me from the dead, that I can confess I do not sin anymore. It's been 1.5 years now. I don't sin in my heart, soul, mind, or strength. As it is written, for me to live is Christ, to die is gain. If I shall go on living, the Son of Yahweh will live through me and guide me in the path of righteousness without stumbling, no longer falling short, having completed the task, completed the goal that was supposed to be accomplished years ago. Thank you for joining me, and there's more to come. Greetings. Today is day 4, and it's the early morning. The sun is risen, and it's behind some clouds. Real beautiful. And today was an amazing revelation of what is to come. A separation of those who are our Creator's people and those who are not our Creator's people. In our generation, we serve sinfulness, our lusts of the flesh, our own creative works. We have become the creator, and we are the ones who did this, when no, everything we have came from above. Everything, cars, electricity, everything that we have came from the storehouses of our Creator. And a people will serve our Creator in that fashion. How do we want to build a future for our children and our children's children to continue to feed the sin nature and a sinful society under this like fake customer service, when in the heart they still harbor iniquity and sin, and in the conscience? For does not Christ cleanse you from these things? And that is the problem. Our humanity in today's day and age lack the wisdom and understanding and knowledge to be healed from these things, but not for long. For Christ has revealed to me a 7-year harvest to prepare all your hearts to become obedient. Okay? Be obedient, learn, apply, and achieve. Blessings be multiplied to the King of Israel, the King of heaven and earth, Yeshua HaMashiach. Blessings to be glorified for our mighty Creator, Yahweh Elohim. So now, listen. Throughout the scriptures, right, teaches us to depart from iniquity. So it's time for the believers to depart from iniquity, okay? That we may have our own place that we may go. Now, many of you out there are asleep or are dead spiritually, unfortunately. Yeah. So now what is to happen is to wake you up and raise you from the dead. That's what Christ does. Now, for anyone who still harbors sinfulness in your heart and in your conscience, you are either asleep or dead in your sin. Christ does not flourish in you. You may talk all you want, believe, worship, but your heart is still captive to sinfulness. Christ cleanses you from that. So remember the tree. You have a tree of life and righteousness, a tree of sin and death that's in you. Which tree are you going to feed? One of them has to flourish, where the other one kind of fades away. So where sin and death flourishes, the tree of life and righteousness gives way down here and it starts to wither away. But if you stop serving and stop feeding sinfulness, this will end up withering away, and your righteousness will grow and well up to eternal life. Do you see the difference there? This is the true faith in the heart and in the conscience, bringing glory to our Creator. I hope you have ears to hear and eyes to see. Blessings. Love eternal. Today marks the end of day 4 of no bread and no water in the wilderness. And today was a very fascinating day. Went by very smoothly until the latter end of the day, like around 8 o'clock. I went out to buy some golf stuff, and a man was there, and we talked about the faith. He was probably the 10th or 11th person in a row that has no knowledge of the scriptures, doesn't know really anything, had a bad, sour experience with religion. Now, one thing I want to stress is that to have faith and to believe is not religion. There's a creator that created all mankind, this earth, the sky, the stars, the sun, and the moon. That is not a religion. That's truth. So, it was a wonderful experience, encouraging him to have an open heart, to call on the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, ask questions, look into the scriptures himself, and see for himself. And he listened the whole time, and it was amazing how Christ ministered to him. I was really humbled to experience it. And other than that, it's been a very relaxing day, and I spent time hiking with my brother today, and it was really nice to talk to him about the faith and perhaps watering a little bit, whatever's there. Farewell at the end of day 4. Welcome to day 5 of the 40-day and 40 nights fast of no bread and no water in the wilderness. And last night had some revelations and some inspirations, and today will be a couple of lessons. And they're pretty exciting lessons. Wonderful food for your soul, fruit, very tasty to eat, wisdom in the spirit from above, instructions to help build your home. So, blessings be multiplied unto you from the kingdom of heaven and that of Yahweh and Yeshua. Love eternal. Don't think for one moment that I come in my name, for I would never go above my head. And the head who I serve is the living Creator, and by that, Yeshua HaMashiach, the Messiah, whom our Creator anointed Yeshua of Nazareth with that power and the wisdom and authority, and granted him his seat at his right hand. Now, what's happened to me is understanding what it means to be equal with Christ, as Christ is equal to the Father. Because the scriptures, it says, let the same mind be in you that was also in him, who being the very nature of Yahweh did not consider it robbery to be equal with him, but made himself of no reputation, a servant. Now what this does for everyone is it resurrects you from the dead. It wakes you up. because my heart inclined to speak to our Creator through Yeshua, asking questions. How is it that the believers always fall short? Because they believe their faith of the flesh, which means that they can do whatever they want and go to heaven, when that's not the truth. There's faith of the Spirit, faith of the flesh. You see, the faith of the flesh wants you to believe, and you're going to eat your cake and do whatever you want. You can act sinful, you can be whatever, but that's not the truth. If you live by the flesh of the faith, you will not inherit the kingdom. This corruptible must put on incorruption. Do you understand that? To inherit eternal life. This is the teaching that Christ said, and the apostles, and they cried and begged, depart from iniquity, or you will not inherit the kingdom. Now, there are parameters within me as well that I cannot go above my head. He gives me guidelines strictly to follow. A heart and a mind that walks the path of righteousness for His name's sake, which is what everybody's supposed to be. And now it's time for us to feed the life, the tree of life and righteousness, no longer the tree of sin and death. You feed sinfulness within you by your actions and your deeds. You kill, and you go, this doesn't go to eternal life, sin and death. No, the tree of life and righteousness goes up to welling up to eternal life. That's what we are to become. And once this is grown and you become fully mature, and now you're strong and you're able to conquer anything that comes your way of the spirit of iniquity and no longer harms you. Christ will cleanse you and He'll protect you. That's the true sayings of our Creator, Yahweh Elohim, to bring glory through His Son, Yeshua HaMashiach. Blessings, love eternal. It was a little trying of a day today. Dealing with my brother that views wickedness as fun and enjoyable, and acknowledging scriptures where if somebody doesn't bring this doctrine of Christ, Yeshua, then do not receive Him. So here is a unique situation. Does that pertain to family? Are you supposed to walk away? And my dad lives in his ways of doctrine of man. My brother has no knowledge of the scriptures other than just little bits and pieces, and believes he has it all figured out. So I associate with them with a grain of salt. I just let them have their mindset as I'm a guest in their house, to be obedient to Christ with this love that I'm being trained on. All right, here comes day 6. Farewell. Love eternal. All right, it's the end of day 5 of the 40-day and 40-night fast of no bread and no water. I'm here in Grand Canyon, and it is spectacular. To acknowledge the works of our Creator and what He has done is beautiful. And today was a day of traveling. Woke up early this morning and just wanted to be away from that environment, and I was pouring down tears as I was leaving Las Vegas, just thinking that they've been put under destruction to be destroyed, and how sad it feels, but and how the healing started happening when I'm away from all that and out in the open area. It's such a amazing feeling, not feeling the stress and the burden of, I guess it's wrath. In big cities, there's just wrath upon